Billy, Messenger of Powers by Michaelbrent Collings. Read for you by Bowyer. Chapter the first, in which Billy goes to a new school and sees a winking frog. Billy Jones was only 14 years old the first time he died. On his first day at Preston Hills High School, 13-year-old Billy walked through the gate in the chain-link fence that surrounded the school where he would be more or less incarcerated for the next 4 years. He looked around, trying to get his bearings, trying not to let the fear he felt show on his face. PHHS was larger than Preston Hills Middle School had been. It was 2 stories, with classrooms that Billy could tell were much larger than the middle school's rooms. The place was huge, with an air of permanence that made it seem as though it had been there forever, catering to the needs of the older kids who walked its halls. I'm actually in high school, Billy thought, but he didn't have time to decide whether that was a good thing or a bad one, because at that moment, another student bumped into him. The boy was taller than Billy, good-looking too, which Billy instantly noticed because he wasn't so good-looking himself. Billy wasn't ugly or anything. He knew no one had ever thrown up from just looking at him, but he was also aware that he was extremely small for his age, only a little over 5 feet, and his thick blonde hair was far too curly for comfort. Add his halo of golden curls to his diminutive stature, and he looked like a doll. A doll that apparently seemed to scream, "Hey, look at these cute curls! Wouldn't I be fun to punch?" to the school bullies. Not only that, but Billy's clothing was not exactly trend-setting. His family didn't have much money, and Billy mostly wore Salvation Army clothes. So for him, looking good meant he was wearing clothing that had never smelled like mold or cigarettes. In contrast, the boy who had bumped into Billy and was now staring at him stood on the opposite end of the coolness spectrum. Unlike Billy's raggedly curly coif, the other boy had dark brown hair that was perfectly combed and styled. His clothing was the latest fashion, and worn with the casual distaste that Billy knew only the rich can get away with. No backpack either. The bigger kid had one of those khaki messenger bags that held half the books and cost 10 times more than Billy's used $6 book bag. And the picture of perfection was completed by the boy's eyes. Expressive green eyes that could probably grab any girl in the school with the force of a tractor beam. Now those green eyes were glaring at Billy. Billy involuntarily took a step back. "Sorry," he mumbled. He didn't know why he said that. The big kid had knocked into him, not the other way around. Still, the boy nodded, as though considering whether to accept Billy's apology. Then he...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?